what's up? Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good?
We talked about it before, but the price increases over the last year. Fuel has gone up 58%. But did you know that you could trade oil and gas and fuel products? So let me give you a few. This is one of my favorite sections on the platform. If we go look, so crude is the chart that I'm looking at now, but you can go scan what commodities are available. So crude is one, the oil and gas product that you can trade. Natural gas is another one that you can trade. It's one of the things that I mentioned, Peter's mentioned, Paul Tudor Jones has mentioned, who I'm working on getting on the show as well. When everyone was talking about crude being the trade for the year and natural gas, by the time it was reported, it was too late. If you look at natural gas now, you can see that it came down from that high of 8.551 and it's down in the sixes now, down to the downside. Let me go to crude. So if we just go and do some quick fibs real quick. And while crude was a good trade in the month of March, we've seen that it's slid down since June, July, August, and September. It fell apart. These white candles are candles that are to the upside, but by the time people are reporting to you what the move is, they are already exiting that position. We've had this talk in private equity and venture, and a post that I made is by the time it gets to us, the move is usually over. But this section I love because it tells you all the things that you can trade. So you have indexes, you have technology, and then you have commodities. Your job as a trader is to be able to hunt and find what the next move may be. So if we go look and let's look at the euro. So for those of you that trade Forex, you know this move is here. This is the 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average for the euro has been here. It's been falling down ever since. This was in 2021. So when I'm telling you the British pound and then the euro are falling down as a result, it comes from doing the work on the charts, right? And seeing what the prices are. This is the British pound. If we go look historically, the British pound has been underneath the 200-day moving average since. If we look here, this is 2008. Then it went above again in 2014, and it's been under for all my traders only. We're gonna have real trader talk. Is this an upward trend or a downward trend? It's a downward trend. So the majority of the macro moves, and if you're scalping, it's different, but for the majority of the macro moves, you should be looking to the downside to get your moves here. So then if I go look at, let's go back to the oil and gas conversation. If this is helpful, please put yes in chat. Let's go look at heating oil. We can go look at that. Heating oil has been to the upside. Snipers, this looks like a familiar setup, right? So if we're doing a sniper setup on a long-term macro trade, if we're swing trading this for multiple years, hypothetically, and we said, okay, at this line, we're going to go long, we would go long here on this white candle, and this happened in 2021. The price here would have been 1.799. We got to a max of 4.7099. We're currently at 4.097. So for those of you that are able to hold positions for a long period of time, please do write this down, because I know people will say, hey, how do I know where to exit? So it's good that it went to 4.7009. How would I know? If we go back and look, this is why I was, and this is a gem that I shouldn't even share. I'm being honest. If you go back to the all-time high, and you look here in 2008, the previous high was 4.14866. Because based on the historical trade prices, and we have to understand that the prices that have been traded, these are the prices that have been voted on by institutions and retail traders to be the best prices to invest long-term and short-term and to exit. So when we come fast forward to now, it broke past that high, but look, it's underneath the high because most people were taking profit somewhere around this area. There's less liquidity past the high. Because I'm here to give you truth, all fact, no fiction, let's look at the charts. So on June 14th, it went above the high slightly. If we look at June 15th, it was above the high. June 16th and June 17th. These lines represent expiration and contract change. As soon as the contracts began to switch over, we've stayed underneath this all-time high and slid back down. We're slowly teetering back up to the upside. We'll probably break this high again and then come back down. You can know, and it's the same as the CPI report. If you need to know what your targets are when you're going long, use a previous high. But what is happening is too many people are using short time frames, and you're following too many people. And when you follow too many people, you're getting too many mixed pieces of information. And it's not an ego thing. I know some of you, want to run with a narrative that I have become egotistical in approach, and that's not true. I've been this way. I have grown emotionally exhausted and tired of our people launching attacks when I am trying to save us. I predicted the Russia involvement with China and told you that. I told about Bitcoin falling. I told you about NFTs falling. If I wanted to, I could have hopped on every NFT wagon with my influence and made millions of dollars off of it. When I sat with Rance and Fuzzy and Q and Dom and went into that side room with Mike Boyd and Gary V, shout out to Gary, he told me I should launch some NFTs, me knowing that the market was going to fall apart. And my character and moral fiber, I couldn't do it. Me not doing it also cost me $15 to $18 million in 1 year. So I'm not here to be egotistical. I'm here to make sure that you guys win. Please put yes in chat if I made you money. And because this platform, Market Mondays, has gotten popular, and because and I was talking to Keys about this yesterday. Prior to 2020, can you name me any people that were African American that we were comfortable being black that was giving this information to us? I was one of them. And there's a lot of lookalikes that have came after that are not as good. The ones that are good, I told you always, I shout out to Bono, shout out to Josh, shout out to Peter, shout out to Paul Tudor Jones, right? Shout out to the good brothers at DFD. Shout out to the good brothers I met at the exchange and the ones that work at Goldman, JP Morgan, Citadel. It's no ego. I want you guys to not get screwed over in this market because a lot of people are treating this like a hustle. And I see some of you making comments. I appreciate you. But if you were better than me or better at the market or gave better advice or net worth was equivalent or higher, you wouldn't mention me. But in 2022 and 2023, I'm not going to fall for the booby trap and let you get your brand and looks off as a result. Help the people. In 1987, the market fell down 34%, and then as a result, over time went up 582%. Please write this down. In 2000, the market dropped down 47% and then went up 101%. The market in 2007 went down 57% and then went up 401%. And in 2020, the market fell down 34% and is down and then went up 113%. So we're averaging post drop a turnaround of at least 150 to 180%. What companies are you going to invest in for the long term that are going to push to the upside for you if you hold them? And I'm going to keep it real. Wouldn't you be bothered too if you created something and no one else was doing it prior to, and then after you, they copy you and then get mad at you while not being as good? I don't know. I think a lot of y'all would too. But Credit Suisse. Credit Suisse is preparing to sell parts of its bank in an attempt to close a big gap in capital that they need, around 4.5 billion Swiss francs, the Financial Times has reported. So part of this crash has to do with the bond market, of course, that we've talked about endlessly, but Credit Suisse could be a Lehman-like player in this crash. If we go back and look at Lehman Brothers, the high of Lehman Brothers, the last time it hit its all-time high was in 2007. Here at $79.29. The stock currently at this time, as of this recording, is at $4.60. It has been underneath its 200-day moving average since 2016. Do we think this stock is going to have a good chance to push up? It's crazy to say, but Credit Suisse stock is in the range of a penny stock. Anything under $10 is technically considered a penny stock. That is devastating. Kanye West has had his business bank accounts closed by JP Morgan and PayPal. Are we shocked? I know last week we talked a lot about whether it was a mental illness or not, and I know some people comment like, hey, he's a billionaire. How can we criticize a billionaire? And Ian, what gives you the right? I'm not criticizing the brother. Like, and this is the truth. In 2002, 2001, and 2000, when Kanye was considered maybe the 70th best rapper in Chicago and maybe 30th best producer, I literally listened to Power 92 the first time they played Through the Wire when I was riding to South Lake Mall. Tremendous feat that Kanye was able to pull off. And the way that he's been talking, he's always talked that way. I told some of you privately, even in Chicago, he was saying I was going to be the next Michael Jackson, next Jermaine Dupri. And he said it to Jermaine Dupri's dad and did not know that was Jermaine Dupri's father at the time when he said it. I'm not criticizing the brother, but the emotions, and I know a lot of people are putting it on mental illness, but a lot of entrepreneurs feel that way when they feel like they're always leading and being attacked, or they're leading and not getting the help that they want to, or the help that they deserve, or the help in which they give is not equal. For my leaders, for my entrepreneurs, for those of you that are head of household, I told Ty last night, a lot of this is the penalty of leadership. But not receiving the support that you wish, or receiving the support that you give and not receiving it back, is actually a trauma response. Because a lot of us grew up in broken environments, we say to ourselves, damn, I wish that someone would have helped me. So as a result, I'm going to help others. And then when others don't help back, we turn around and say, why is the world like this? And I've suffered from it as well. And I said it before in an interview with Wayno, one of the biggest mistakes that one can make is helping too much, because giving can lead to bankruptcy and poverty. I want you to write down now, going into 2023, and 2023 starts today, the 5 people you will help in business, the 5 family members you will help, the 5 friends that you will help, and maybe even the 5 charities. And outside of that, once you have that circle, don't give outside of that. Because even in a recession, there are going to be more people that try and pull money from you. Or even in business, everyone's always pitching something. But in the end, when I ask a business service provider, how do you plan to get me 5X or 11X on this investment? They never have an answer for that. Be careful. Because accumulation of money and preservation and growing or acceleration of that capital are 2 totally different things. Not criticizing Kanye. I want him to stay in that billionaire position. Me as a person that personally reached out to someone that knows Jamie Dimon prior to his accounts getting shut down. Trust me, I'm trying to help. But you have to know what parties you can upset and which ones you can't, and how to mitigate risk. And in that instance, that was a hell of a liability that he took on.
This that Red Panda Anthem. Ian, what's up? This that Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good? Red Panda Anthem. Your boy going up. I know they can't stand it.